With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Lord so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, race fans, once again here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The Light Electric Company Xfinity Series right here in NEXTGEN Racing heads off to Kansas Speedway for the Yellow Brick Road 100. Glad you could all be with us here tonight. The Yellow Brick Road 100 brought to you by Conrad Group Insurance Agency. Do appreciate them coming on board for this race this season. Second race of the season for the Conrad Group, and it does indeed look like drivers already beginning to make their way through pre-race inspection. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, Darkside Dave in the cave bringing you all the calls from the track. And it looks like multiple drivers already getting to their spots on pit road, so we will jump out front with your pole sitter, your Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner. There you can see the drivers making their way off of pit road, so it's time to run down your starting lineup for tonight's race. Looks a little something like this. Front row pole sitter Jeffrey Vandevort with a 30-84. Troy Radford gonna line up just to his outside. There you can find Steve Baker. Baker was fast, was last week's race winner. Baker outside of your top 5 in that 6th spot. Rounding out your top 10 here tonight, there you can see Joshua Spalding. Spalding also one of those drivers that has been to victory lane. A little further back, there you can see Travis Smith as well as Dustin Ping rounding out your top 15. Chris Berg back there in 20th. Thomas Light in the 98 machine gonna line up in 22nd here tonight. Lance Yancey, can he bounce back from the rough go that he had last week? We'll have to wait and see how all that shakes out. Track a little bit different than Dover. That's your starting lineup. Chris Medford will round out the field for your starting lineup. And we'll get set to kick things off once again here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight for the Yellow Brick Road 100. That's right, 150 miles around this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval. The 72 of Vandevort scoots away from the field pretty much with ease on that first time. Oh, big wiggle off of 2. That's going to stack them up just a little bit. Now the 45 of Snare looks for the top spot. There you can see Troy Radford in that familiar Lucky Finn Project number 94 slotted in right there in that 3rd position. Katie Osmond, also a race winner this season, sitting right there in 4th. Oh, close right there off of turn 2 between Troy Radford and Brian Snare. That was pretty close right there. I tell you what, let's go back here just outside of your top 5. I tell you what, all the way back outside of your top 10. There you can see Eric Blount. He's battling for a spot inside the top 10, sitting right now in that 10th spot. He's got Hunter Tate right there beside him, Joshua Spalding, Jeff Stiles, as well as Mitchell Snare lurking in the background. Hot and heavy battles all over this speedway, so we're going to be jumping around quite a bit early here to try to cover all this action. There you can see a little bit of a connection issue for one of the drivers back through the field. I believe that was the 69 of Craig Lerman with just a little bit of a connection issue. Nonetheless, we're going to jump back just outside of your top. Let's go outside of your top 20. What do you say? Look at some of these drivers moving their way up through the pack. This man right here on screen, Doug Wasaki in the 34 machine, moving up through the field, already up 6 spots from where he started tonight's race, now running in the 24th position. And what has happened to Thomas Light already on and off of pit road being scored? I do believe a lap down already very early here tonight. Hot and heavy battles all over the speedway. Jeffrey Vandervoort does lead Troy Radford by just a couple of tenths of a second, right at a 7/10 of a second to be exact, as they make their way off of turn number 2 back down this back stretch. There you can see the front of the pack beginning to stretch themselves out just a little bit. So we'll jump back to this battle still going on between that 55 of Steve Baker as well as the 48 of Jimmy Hetrick. Hetrick going to lose the position. That's going to lead him back into the hands of the 82 of Tyler Hilton. Hilton on a solid run here tonight takes the Blue Deuce to the top. That's Christopher Spencer trying to make up a little bit of ground. Going to make a pass right there on that 6. Eric Blount falling backwards. Battle right around the 15th spot. I say battle, it's all nose to tail right now. Not a lot of side-by-side action out there on this 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. You'll see that familiar line all night long here. Driver's going to be hugging that outside line, that outside wall. And if you get a little too friendly, a little too close, Kansas will make you regret it here. More drivers dropping down to the bottom there. You can see John Wimbish. He's trying to make up some time on Jeff Stiles. Stiles sitting right there in the 15th spot. Wimbish now goes to 14th. More drivers jockeying around just a little bit. There you can see Dustin German looking for the spot on Jeff Stiles as Gordon Larson Jr. looks to the inside of Craig Lerman. Lance Yancey making a pass back through the field. That's back around the 27th position right now. Lance Yancey passing Jason Gardner. So multiple different little passes going on all over the field. We did have another pass back further than that. Brian Littleton and Jason Gardner mixing up just a little bit. Gordon Larson Jr. making a pass on Craig Lerman. Tyler Hilton going back to the 8th spot. Now you can still see these two drivers battling on screen. Gordon Larson Jr. and Craig Lerman. That's for a spot just inside of your top 20 at this point in time. 9 laps into tonight's 100 lap scheduled event. Will these drivers be able to keep it clean and green to the end, or will we see a rash of cautions? We'll have to wait to see how it all plays out, because real estate is going to start to get even tighter. Looks like the 82 having a little bit of trouble now. The 9 of Travis Smith. He makes his way towards the inside. There you can see that 43 of Mitchell Snare. Snare making his way up through the field as well. Mitchell with a little bit of a loss on the start of tonight's race, but now slowly trying to regain those positions. And now we'll jump back with Roy Hyde and Brian Littleton. Those two nose to tail teammates on the track, running right with each other. 23rd and 24th at this point in time. Just off in front of them, Chris Berg as well as Dustin Ping. Nathan Bishop running in the solid 25th position right now. Nathan has gained I do believe about 3 positions from where he started tonight's race. So Bishop moving forward, multiple other drivers moving forward. John Wimbish, for the time being, is your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner right now. If things were come to a close, Wimbish up 12 spots from where he started tonight's event. The Yellow Brick Road 100 right here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Gonna jump just back up in front of your top 5. There you can see Katie Osmond just out in front of Steve Baker. Jimmy Hetrick running in that 48 Ally machine, slotted in the 5th spot. There you can see the 2 of Christopher Spencer right there behind them. So Hetrick in a solid spot right now, knocking on the door of a top 5. He's got Chris Spencer and Joshua Spalding a little bit back behind them, about a second gap between those 4 cars. Then you'll find a 2 and then another 3-car battle. You might as well go ahead and put that 2 and 3-car battle all in one big giant lump sum, because there are drivers moving to the front. Back here through the rear of this field, we'll take a look back here. I tell you what, where we want to go. Let's go just outside of your top 30. There you can see yet some more Dirty Air Racing drivers. Brian Mescal Jr. lined up behind Damian Patton. They're chasing down Mason Dixon Motorsports driver, the 46 of Justin Walters. Walters was your biggest mover last week at Dover and the Crab Cakes 150. So a big shout out to Justin Walters and the Mason Dixon Motorsports team coming away with some big points last week from Dover. Big scrum of cars back here just outside of your top 25. Jason Gardner, Nathan Bishop, Cody Terry, Justin Walters, Dustin Ping falling backwards big time early here tonight. Dustin down 14 spots from where he started tonight's race. There you can see Ping making it. Oh, and contact! Driver goes around down off the speedway. That was Cody Terry right there. Heck of a job by that 22. He's able to save that thing. We stay green flag racing here tonight from Kansas Speedway in the Yellow Brick Road 100, brought to you by NEXTGEN Racing's Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Not much to see up at the front, but we'll take you back up there one more time. There you can see, give credit where credit is due. Your Black Hawk Motorsport Pole Award winner, that's 78 of Jeffrey Vandervoort out of the Smoke Show Racing Team. Well, putting on a show right now. He leads the field by 7/10 of a second. Troy Radford right there in second. He has himself about a 7/10 of a second advantage over Brian Snare. Running in third, Katie Osmond up 1 spot for where he started tonight's race. Sitting in the 4th position, Steve Baker now rounds out your top 5. Brandon Medford able to make a pass on Brian Mescal Jr. That's back for the 32nd spot as we continue to watch this front of the field. Small gaps beginning to develop all the way back through your top 8, so we'll jump to the battle right here. Hot and heavy battle on the track right around the 10th, 11th, 12th position on the track. All these drivers all tucked in with each other, following Travis Smith around the high side. There you can see that STP Petty Blue 43 of a Mitchell Snare. Snare still trying to climb his way back up to where he started tonight's race, has fallen. It looks like about 4 to 5 spots depending on when they cross the timing loop. Snare about 4 or 5 spots down from where he started tonight's race, and now running back inside the top 12 in that 12th position. There you can see him slotted up right there behind that 6 of Eric Blount. Blount trying to follow Hunter Tate, who is all over that 9 of Travis Smith. Snare going to make a pass on Blount. That's going to put Snare just outside of your top 10. Now running in 11th as this little scrum of cars, they begin to sort things out. Travis Smith begins to build a gap. 0.3 of a second now separates himself from the 8 of Hunter Tate. Going to jump back outside of your top 15 in a battle for a spot inside your top 20 now as we reach lap 20 here tonight. Just about a quarter of a way through tonight's race already. These drivers not playing around. They mean business here tonight And a little bit of contact with that outside wall there for a minute. It looks like that 85 machine of Jeff Styles may have had a little bit of contact. There it is, more contact in turns 3 and 4. Lance Yancey in that 77 now digging on the bottom. Almost contact. They almost touched doors there, coming off of 4 and back through the tri-oval. That's right in front of Brian Littleton and Gordon Larson Jr. Roy Hyde still slotted inside the top 25, running in the 24th spot. There you can see that double O tail into this little line. Oh, Lance Yancey with a big slide job right in front of Jeff Styles. Oh, that stacks up the field just a little bit. Now down to the bottom goes Gordon Larson Jr. He's looking to take advantage of the situation. Gordon Larson Jr. trying to battle with Jeff Styles now, side by side back through the tri-oval as the 77 scoots away. And although Thomas Light had a little bit of an issue, he has been able to get himself back out on the track, now running in the 40th position, being scored 18 spots down from where he started tonight's race, but moving towards the front on the lead lap. That 98 trying to see if he can't salvage something here tonight as we continue this long green flag run at the beginning of tonight's race. 23 laps in the book, and we have had 23 green flag laps so far here tonight from Kansas Speedway in the Yellow Brick Road 100, presented to you by Conrad Group Insurance Agency in partnership with NEXTGEN Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. We'll continue to watch this three-car battle on the track for just a brief moment. Gonna jump back up towards the front because Katie Osmond, he has made up some ground in battling now side by side for that second spot. Troy Radford, Katie Osmond back and forth. That's going to bring Brian Snare up into the picture, and if they continue to mess around, Steve Baker already in victory lane one time this season. He's going to work his way back up into the mix as well. There you can see Baker just about a half a second off of Snare. Looking for some more battles? Tell you what, let's go back to this one. Once again, nose to tail through the back end of this field. There you can see that 77 of Lance Yancey, Brian Littleton, Roy Hyde, Todd Willis, Gordon Larson Jr. right there now trying to take a spot away from Willis. Looking to the inside into turn number 3. I'm not sure that's going to work out. That was a very long way to come from trying to make that pass. On entry to 3, not going to be able to do so. He's going to slide back in line, back in front of Chris Medford in the 84 Ford Mustang, piloted, being driven right now, right up on that rear deck lid. Now, wow, slides it down to the bottom. There was only one lane between the apron and Gordon Larson Jr. and Chris Medford, man, he stuck it in there and made it work and around he goes, putting Medford up 18 spots, now in the 24th position. Continuing to look through the timing and scoring, and while we've got a chance, I've got to give a big time shout out to this man right here, Iron Man himself, Damon Cox, out there from the Hammer Down Motorsports, sponsored by Autism Speak Century Equipment Erectors Incorporated. There you can see shameless plug by Damon for the website there. Go check out centuryequipment.com, sponsor of your victory lane here in the Next Gen Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. So big time shout out to them. But back to, as we were highlighting and saying, this driver right here, good time buddy, good time friend for a quite some time now. Battling with, well, you know what he's battling with, that you know, the craziness and all that. Damon missing a race there, but fortunately enough, starting to feel a little bit better. So we do wish you well in your road to recovery. It can take a lot out of you, as we have been told and as we all know. So a big shout out for kicking it, yeah, and heck of a job. Glad you're back out there on track. The Iron Man himself. Most starts in Next Gen Racing history. That's why they call him the Iron Man. The 57 of Damon Cox. back to the battle up here for that second spot. Now we've got a battle for first, second, third, fourth, all battling right here side by side. Your top two rows drivers have come back together. There you can see that 44 is being scored almost down one lap. That's Matthew McMeekin, his Ford off the pace just a little bit. So your top three, I apologize, it's your top three all battling for a position on the raceway right now as Katie Osmond has made his way by Troy Radford. Still sitting just behind Radford is Snare. Steve Baker now closing in as well. So it's going to be a close battle between your top five here very, very shortly as the drivers migrate back to the top of the track once they get by the back marker. And we should see that continue to play out time and time again. Looks like we've got some more drivers going down pit road. Looks like Gordon Larson Jr. bringing his 01 down to pit road first. Pass for a spot inside your top 10. Travis Smith takes a spot away from Jimmy Hetrick. That's going to be for P8 on the track. So the 9 continues to move towards the front. Gonna check in on one of my favorite drink cars on the track week in and week out. The Toyota Supra piloted by John Wimbish, sitting right there looking pretty just outside of your top 12. Wimbish in the Cheerwine Toyota Supra. And well, if you don't like Cheerwine, yeah, as Ricky Bobby says, insert there. Just say. Knocking on the door of what should be the first round of green flag pit stops here very, very shortly. Drivers all getting it all mixed up. And Jeffrey Vandervoort, what has happened? He's dropped to the bottom of the speedway. That's given the top line to Katie Osmond as well as Troy Radford. I was looking to see if maybe Vandervoort was going to go ahead and come to pit road as we got a driver inside the top 5 going to break for pit road. Joshua Spalding, Dustin German, John Wimbish, and Tyler Hilton all to pit road this time. So 4 drivers going ahead and starting this green flag pit cycle. And Jeffrey Vandervoort losing big ground right now, all the way back from the top spot into the 4th position. And if Vandervoort is not careful, he may lose another spot. Everybody breaking for pit road. So your top 5 all come to pit road. That's going to put the lead in the hands of the Blue Deuce right there. Christopher Spencer in the Ford Mustang. He's got Travis Smith and Mitchell Snare right behind him. How long will these drivers stay out? Looks like lap 35. So let's do the math. Driver's going to have to make at least one more pit stop. So just how long are you willing to stay out on these older tires and give the drivers that came to pit road a little bit of an advantage over you? But, you know, there again, race strategy will tell you you'll have the fresher tires. Spencer's going to break for pit road. Smith, Snare, they're going to stay out on track. What does Chris Berg, Lance Yancey, and Eric Blount do? Looks like they are going to stay out on the track as well. Derek Robinson in the 33, he will join Christopher Spencer on pit road this time by. That does look like the only 2 that have broke off of the track and down to pit road. And not a lot of practice this weekend for the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. So these drivers kind of fresh and new out there to the track and how it's going to react with the older tires versus the colder, fresher tires. More drivers to pit road that time by Chris Metford as well as Eric Blount. In the 00 of Roy Hyde, back down onto pit road. Roy was your winner at Daytona in your season opener, so already sitting well with a win in his back pocket. Roy sitting, I do believe, right there, 5th in the championship points, and we'll get to some point standings here in just a few moments or so. Let things sort themselves out with the timing and scoring with the green flag pit stops. Travis Smith continues to stay out on the track. He now has just 12 drivers with him on the lead lap as more break for pit road. Jeff Stiles, Todd Willis, and Brian Littleton going to come to pit road for the first time now here tonight for the Yellow Brick Road 100 from Kansas Speedway. Your race leader peels off this time by. What does Snare do? He's going to come to pit road as well. What will Lance Yancey as well as Chris Berg do? Looks like they're both going to come to pit road. And no, Berg gonna, almost faking the funk there. And Berg had us psyched out, but he does come to pit road. What does Mason Gill and Walters do? Justin Walters gonna stay on the track. He's gonna be the last driver to come down to pit road, and he will be a lonely man down there on pit road. Strike that. Dustin Ping as well as Melvin Young yet to hit pit road here tonight. And with this long cycle of green flag pit stops there, you can see that 34 of Doug Wasaki, he's going to get himself back onto the lead lap the good old-fashioned way by passing her race leader. Going to have a lot of different tire strategies out here tonight now that Justin Walters has extended this all the way to lap number 40. And is it possible? Could we possibly see this driver extend it for another 5 to 10 laps? If he can extend it to another 5 or 6 and not going to be able to, looks like he's going to come to pit road this time by very slow on the track. And indeed, Justin Walters going to peel off and come to pit road. Dustin Ping looks like he will bring his one machine back down to pit road as well, and that will put the lead into the hands of this man for the second time here tonight. KD Osmond back to the front, that 88 fired up and moving in the right direction. He'll take control of the race lead once again. But looky here, Joshua Spalding with that earlier stop. He came to pit road 1 lap earlier, and he has gained some time right there with Troy Radford, and now in between Radford and Snare. And as we close in on the halfway point here tonight from Kansas Speedway in the Yellow Brick Road 100, we're going to take a quick side-by-side commercial break. You won't miss any of the green flag action, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be, well, right here.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And as we're back from commercial break, we continue to watch the battle there for a second between, it looked like Brian Snare and Joshua Spalding, Jeffrey Vandervoort, all right there battling for a spot inside your podium positions for that third and final podium spot. Now watching the hot and heavy battle between Steve Baker, John Wimbish, Christopher Spencer, and Hunter Tate. And there you can see over to the left-hand side of your screen your driver standings coming into tonight's race as one driver into the outside wall, trying to see who that was. Looks like that very well may have been that 80. No, looks like possibly the 9 of Travis Smith scraping the wall just a little bit. Indeed, yes, it was that 9 of Travis Smith. But back to your overall point standings coming in to tonight's race. There you can see it off to the left-hand side of your screen. Steve Baker leads the field with 171 points. Dustin Ping sitting 26 points back. Troy Radford back there in third, 29 points back. Chris Berg, Roy Hyde round out your top 5. There you can see another race winner this year, Katie Osmond, sitting in the 8th spot, 49 points out of your points championship here as the drivers cross the line. This time by to reach, well, almost the halfway point. Jumped the gun just a little bit, but not jumping the gun on this one. Your team points coming into tonight's race. Right there to the left-hand side of your screen once again. The Smoke Show leads all the teams out here tonight. Black Hawk Motorsports sitting in second, followed by Dirty Air Racing, Falcon Motorsports, as well as Hammer Down. That's your top 5. 55 points back is Black Hawk, 88 points back Dirty Air, and already open up a big gap over that 4th place team, Falcon Motorsports, 143 points back. So the Smoke Show living up to the name so far this season. They have had the most poles. They have had the most race winners out of their racing team. So fine job out there by all the guys in the Smoke Show. And as we do reach the halfway point, if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, getting notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually sliding through to say what's up, or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. And if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up. Big time shout out for the title sponsor of the Xfinity Series here in Next Gen Racing. That's right, Light Electric Company coming on board, sponsoring the entire season here for this inaugural Xfinity Series Season 4 Next Gen Racing Leagues on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator, the one of Dustin Ping. He's trying to keep himself on the lead lap, or I should say get himself closer to being back on the lead lap. Ping being scored the first driver off of the lead lap right now, running in the 32nd position. So multiple drivers already down, and we'll go ahead and get through with a little bit of house cleaning here tonight. As indeed looks like timing and scoring finally catching up, and we do have more drivers off of the lead lap. We started tonight's race full field here tonight for the Yellow Brick Road 100 from Kansas Speedway. 43 drivers took to the starting grid. We have still got 42 out there on the track. Looks like the 69 of Craig Learman gonna be the first and only driver out of tonight's race. We've still got 27 drivers left on the lead lap, and the man that's the last car on the lead lap, Justin Walters, he's the driver that extended his tires the furthest, all the way to lap number 40 laps onto his fuel and tires. So he's about 6 to 7 laps longer than the rest of the field. That could very well come into play later on in the race here tonight. Also want to give a big shout out to all the other sponsors on board this season with the Next Gen Racing, Light Electric Company, Xfinity Series. Big time shout out to Conrad Group Insurance Agency, sponsoring tonight's Yellow Brick Road 100, multiple-time race sponsor in the series. So a big shout-out to everybody back there at Conrad Group Insurance Agency for coming on board and giving us all the support that they have throughout the entire year. Also 946 Designs, Jekyll Controls, Mountain Mafia Kennels, and Darkside ENT. That's right, my very own little label. Why not? Shameless plugs. Shameless plugs. Back to the action on the speedway. There you can see a 3-car battle between the 40 of Tim Woodson, Dustin Ping right there with the 2 of Christopher Spencer. Spencer is on the lead lap, scored in the 8th spot. Ping being scored off of the lead lap as well as Tim Woodson. So we do have some back markers mixed in with the front runners right now. John Wimbish in that 56 Cheerwine Toyota Supra trying to find his way around some of these back markers. There you can see the 22 of Cody Terry. Terry being scored, I believe, off of the lead lap right now in that 22nd position. Still John Wimbish and Travis Smith slowly trying to make their way by these back markers, trying to make their way around Cody Terry as well as Dustin Ping. Both of those drivers being scored off of the lead lap as they run on the track right now. And more drivers that we would have expected to be up through the front of this field. Gonna take a look at this 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Not having a good run here tonight. Brian being scored off of the lead lap back in the 28th position. Still up 12 spots from where he started tonight's race, but there you can see contact and a long scrape down the wall in 3 and 4. That's going to slow that 33 up even more. That Chevy Camaro has been struggling out there tonight, and I think he wants a little tornado to come through here and just go ahead, and there's no place like home. Meanwhile, back at the front, once again, battle on the speedway. You've got the 45 of Brian Snare. He's right there tucked in behind Troy Radford, almost into that outside wall. Your race leader, well, he gone. Katie Osmond, there you can see him just off in the foreground of your screen. He's got himself a 1.6 second advantage over Troy Radford. Radford still dealing with Snare. Another 5 seconds back to your pole sitter, your Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner. There you can see the 72 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. He led a vast majority of the first portion of this race, about half of the first green flag run. Vandervoort had control over the field, but then when the tires kind of went away, well, that's when the 72 went away, and he has not been able to recover again since. Gonna jump around just a little bit, try to find some more battles. That's gonna bring us back here to Travis Smith, and now we jump forward to the 55 of Steve Baker as he's got Christopher Spencer closing in on his rear deck lid. And I tell you what, while we've got ourselves a chance before the green flag pit stops, why don't we mute the mic for just a brief moment and head down trackside for a little bit of Turn It Up. Spalding, Vandevort, and Spencer all going to come to pit road under our Turn It Up segment here. So drivers going to be getting all mixed up. Running order going to be played with just a little bit. So we'll mute the mics for just a little bit longer and continue to bring you some of these great action shots here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Looks like Hunter Tate also going to come to pit road this time by. And Smith goes through the grass and back onto the track. He loses about 3 positions there through that one. My goodness, that could have been pretty bad. Eric Blount and Todd Willis come to pit road this time by. Do want to take a moment to thank each and every one of the drivers as well as the crews for allowing us to put multiple cameras on the cars here tonight to bring you some great live action shots from Kansas Speedway. Drivers out there laying it all on the line. This is the second round of green flag pit stops, as it does look like Hetrick gonna bring his 48 down for service. Dustin Ping, John Wimbish, I should say, on to pit road that last time by. So pit road becoming a very busy place once again. And it does look like most of these front runners are splitting this race exactly the way they split the first stop coming down to pit road right around that 34-35 lap mark. Katie Osmond, Brian Snare, Mitchell Snare, all to pit road this time by. Do those 3 front runners bring anybody else down pit road? And oh, looks like we've got a driver going around and through the grass. Do we stay green? Looks like we're going to keep it under green flag conditions, so drivers able to corral the car. Heck of a job out there by a lot of these drivers there. You can see that 94 Ford Mustang, the Lucky Finn Project Ford Mustang of Troy Radford, coming to pit road this time by. What will Travis Smith do? He's going to stay out. He'll lead another lap. He's got Tyler Hilton, Chris Berg, Lance Yancey, Doug Wasaki still on the track right behind him. .55 of Steve Baker, man, cutting and slicing through the field. Baker gonna put himself back on to the lead lap, so we've now got just 14 drivers left on the lead lap, and we're gonna start seeing some more drivers put themselves back on the lead lap. There you can see that blue deuce piloted by Christopher Spencer sitting in the 14th spot. He's being scored the first car 1 lap down as Tyler Hilton brings his 82 to pit road this time by. We'll get a little closer to the track once again. There you can see Christopher Spencer trying to make his way by your race leader, Troy Radford, as well as Jeffrey Vandevort. They're looking for a way by Travis Smith as well. Smith stuck on that high side as those fresh tires go by on the inside, so Smith forced to run yet another lap here at Kansas Speedway, whether he wanted to or not. Tyler Hilton is back off of pit road as Chris Berg brings his machine down this time by. A lot of different fuel strategies playing out on the track here tonight, and while we're still under the green flag pit cycle, gonna throw that pit strategy out there for you. There you can see drivers all over the board. And if we're counting off the same lap count that we did the first run, Smith gonna stay out there for at least another 3 to 4 laps and continue to run, continue to stretch this thing on out, and continue to look for a possible pesky yellow late in the race. Race trends do say we have had one caution come out in the past 4 races. Under 15 laps to go, and drivers just on the outside of that number looking in. So very shortly we should see most of these drivers come to pit road, but we very well may see some of them gamble on that late race caution. Smith gonna peel off for pit road this time by. That will give Lance Yancey the opportunity to lead a lap here tonight. Looks like he's going to keep the 77 Ford Mustang up next to the outside wall. He'll stay out on the track. Roy Hyde, Justin Walters also staying out on track. So now just a handful of drivers left to come to pit road for their second stop. Your top 3 drivers have yet to stop for the second time. Dustin Ping scored back there in the 14th position. He has yet to come to pit road as well, but Ping well off pace tonight and well out of the mix for a good finish, unless we should get that pesky caution flag. That could very well play in to his hands. Roy Hyde going to break away for a pit road that time by, so that's going to leave Lance Yancey, Katie Osmond right there in second. Justin Walters going to stay in the 3rd spot. Walters yet to come to pit road, but he has already given that position on track away to Katie Osmond, so the long run for Justin Walters not paying off here tonight. He is your biggest mover of the race, your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner right now, should the race end, up 33 spots from where he started tonight's race, sitting in the 3rd position. As Lance Yancey comes to pit road, Katie Osmond will assume the race lead just behind him. Still running in second, still yet to hit pit road for the final time. That 46 of Justin Walters now sitting in the 2nd position. Troy Radford rounds out your top 3. Very close action between Radford and German. So we'll jump back to this one as Dustin German pounds the outside wall right across the nose of Steve Baker. Oh my goodness, that could have ended up bad. There you can see Roy Hyde. He is struggling to keep himself on the lead lap and has failed to do so. So now just 21 drivers left on your lead lap as Lance Yancey tries to get up to speed. He's going to fall victim as well, and he's going to end up back off of the lead lap once again here tonight as Katie Osmond has just set sail on the field, now enjoys a 3.8 second advantage over Radford. And as this green flag pit cycle continues to play it out itself on out now, down to just 22 laps remaining in tonight's Yellow Brick Road 100. Brought to you by Conrad Group Insurance Agency, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, live with the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Dustin Ping now going to come to pit road. So let's go ahead and get to some of the driver highlights here tonight. Drivers sitting at the front of this field, up 4 spots from where he started tonight's race. Out of Blackhawk Motorsports from Virginia, the Ohio and Indiana Roofing Company sponsored Sun Drop Machine, sitting right there, still paying homage to the great and late Linda Haney right there on his front, right there on the roof, on the hood of his Chevy Camaro. Katie Osmond leads this field. Driver back in the 2nd position. There you can see out of Duncanville, PA, the 36-year-old Troy Radford continuing to run strong in that Lucky Finn Project Ford Mustang. Back to the 3rd place driver, Brian Snare, bringing that 45 up through the field. Can he make it up a little bit further? We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. And just behind him, driver running strong, the Ford Mustang driver, Dustin German. Oh, into the outside walls, the 86 right in front of the field. Big time shake up and stack up That's going to mix things all up for the moment. Steve Baker now takes a spot away inside the top 5 as Christopher Spencer looks to the inside. He'll take that spot away as well. Going to jump back here, highlight the last driver inside your top 10 out of Toutville, VA. The Visualized Media diecast by Bobby Let's Party, AAA Entertainment, Ohio and Indiana Roofing, sponsored STP Petty Blue 43, piloted by the young cat, the 20-year-old Mitchell Snare, out there doing a great job keeping that Chevy Camaro inside the top 10. He is 2 spots out of down from where he started tonight's race, but Snare still running very strong inside your top 10. Has himself a good gap back to Tyler Hilton running in 11th. About 6.5 seconds separate those 2 drivers. So Snare looking to solidify this solid top 10 finish. Gonna jump back a little further. Let's highlight this guy right here, Derek Robinson. He likes to drive fast and take chances in that Toyota Supra. Oh, big time moment. Drivers mixing it up, going to the bottom of the track. There you go from Sioux Lookout, Ontario. The 55 of Derek Robinson trying to bring his 38 machine up through the field just a little bit further and see if he can't get hardline racing a few extra points here tonight. Roy Hyde going to make himself a position up there. You can see that 00 of Roy Hyde up 17 spots, running in the 17th position. Gonna jump back and take a look at some of these drivers that are running off of the lead lap. A few more of these drivers running off of the lead lap. There you can see your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner last week, Justin Walters. He has fallen through the field just a little bit now, just up 10 spots from where he started tonight's race, sitting in the 26th position. And we'll jump now to who would have that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award should we hand it out right now. And there you can see him just to the outside, man, at the front and foremost of your screen. That 84 of Chris Medford, up 26 spots from where he started tonight's race, running now in the 16th position. So big time move on the night for Medford. He's all the way up from outside of the top 40, so that is a big time gain. Not much to say at the front of the field. Katie Osmond, there you can see your race leader closing in on that 84 of Chris Medford. Roy Hyde still fighting hard to try to get himself back on the lead lap, and he's going to need to do so just in case we do have ourselves that pesky yellow flag fly right now. Hyde sitting in a good position for the lucky dog should we need it, but as Katie Osmond continues the lap at a very quick pace, they're going to run up on some lap cars. Well, Roy Hyde just goes ahead and does the deed himself, gets himself back on the lead lap late in the going with just 13 laps remaining here from Kansas Speedway in the Yellow Brick Road 100. Close little battle going on back here between these drivers. We've got a bunch of them all packed up, lined up with each other. There you can see the 55 of Steve Baker. He's got Christopher Spencer right behind him. The lap machine of Eric Blount, he's in the mix right there, running that high line, forcing these lead lap drivers to go to the bottom of the speedway. And Blount with a little bit of a connection issue. He'll blink for just a moment. And wow, what a fall from grace here tonight. Not sure what has happened to that 72 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. Vandervoort was here a Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner, but now falling through the field just a little bit. He has fallen out of that top spot, and ever since then just really hasn't had the speed. Close battle there. John Wimbish forces his way through the middle. Wimbish has had enough. He is looking for a spot inside the top 5. He's going to root, push, and prod his way into that 6th position. Now he's going to look to chase down that 5th place driver sitting just in front of him in that Ford Mustang Blue Deuce. There you can see Christopher Spencer. Can he fight off the hard-charging Toyota Supra of John Wimbish? He's got Jeffrey Vandervoort and Mitchell Snare now right behind him. Snare with a solid run, finally recovering from all the loss here late in the going as they cross the line to take just 10 laps to go this time by. Field is on notice. It's time to take no more give on the track here from Kansas Speedway. And I tell you, the man that has taken everything here tonight, taking the field to school, Katie Osmond looks to visit victory lane for the second time here this season in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Can he get the job done here tonight? Doesn't look like anybody really has much for him. Has himself a 2.8 second advantage over Troy Radford, who continues to lead Brian Snare. Well, we highlight our biggest movers. Let's highlight our biggest droppers of the night. What has happened to this man right here? That 48 Ally machine piloted by Jimmy Hetrick. He had that Chevy Camaro up inside the top 10, and as a matter of fact, up inside the top 5 at one point in time tonight. He is now being scored 27 spots back from where he started tonight's race, running in the 31st position. Big time drop on the field here tonight for Hetrick. After running so strong earlier in tonight's race, big trouble in the 48 falls through the field. We'll jump back to this battle as it is one of your closest 4 position on the track, just outside of your top 5 in front of Chris Spencer. There you can see that 55 of Steve Baker. He's holding down that 4th spot. Spencer back in 5th. John Wimbish still a strong 6th spot, and he has got himself about 3 lap fresher tires. So will we see that 56 attempt to make a move on the bottom of the speedway? We've yet to see a driver really assert themselves late in a green flag run by being able to make that dive to the bottom in the slide job back to the outside wall for a position. So possibly we could see Wimbish with a why not, try not late in the going, as we now down to just 6 laps remaining here tonight from Kansas Speedway in the Yellow Brick Road 100 for the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. High five for your race leader. Katie Osmond sees 5 laps to go. And as we wind down things here tonight, and we hit the witching hour where race dreams come true, and your hopes of walking away with a checkered flag can be shattered with a late race caution. We'll have to wait to see how it all plays out, but if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by, just casually stopping by to say hey, or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So like I've said, if you haven't already, go ahead and toss these drivers a thumbs up. Close battle now developing between that 43 of Mitchell Snare and Jeffrey Vandervoort. Vandervoort has fallen from grace here as your Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner. He has fallen from that top spot and now outside of your top 5 and in danger of losing yet another spot late in the going with just 3 laps remaining. Could we see the trend break here tonight at Kansas Speedway? Wimbish into the outside wall. The 56 into the outside wall. That's going to slow the momentum down just a little bit. And here comes that 72 of Vandervoort looking to take a spot away. Mitchell Snare right there to pounce and pick up the pieces should anything go wrong between those two drivers. But popsicle sticks for the field this time by, and now making his way into 3 and 4. Your race leader, Katie Osmond, comes around off of turn 4 back through the tri-oval. Flagman with the white flag. Final lap here tonight from Kansas Speedway. We have been clean and green all night long here tonight. What a show. What a drive by all of these drivers, not just to get through all 100 laps with green flag racing, but through 2 cycles of green flag pit stops. without any real hiccups or hang-ups. And oh, looks like the 86 gonna miss pit road. For the final time off of turn 4, your race leader, Katie Osmond, captures the flag. Race winner, once again, second time this season here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. And Katie Osmond takes that top spot once again. What a run, what a drive for that man right there on your screen. Katie Osmond absolutely kills it here tonight. On and off pit road for that second round of green flag pit stops and never looked back, controlling the race for the final 40-plus laps. There you can see him celebrating on the track. Smoke show indeed. Man, what a ride, what a run for that 88 of Katie Osmond. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, so don't you go anywhere. We will be right back.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Yes, sir. Sure do. Doing great, man. It's been a rough start to the season. Just that hadn't had good luck, and a lot of it my own fault because I've been starting in the back of the pack and messing up in qualifying. Had a solid qualifying effort today, and of course my long run speed showed, and was able to keep it in the top three all day. And boy, I just couldn't be happier that this is the paint scheme that we're running. Mitchell and I are running today. A couple of people needing our thoughts and prayers, Jim and Becky, and we ran a special paint scheme designed for them, and ran this race in their honor. So pretty pumped up to bring it home third. It was awesome, man. I struggled a little bit on that last run. I came out of the pits behind some lap cars, and I'm just not. I'm fairly new to iRacing, so I'm not that comfortable moving through traffic. But what I really need is a race like this, which is green flag runs, because I'm good on tires, and I think that showed tonight. I think that's why my performance uptick was tonight. You know, when they string out a little bit, I can kind of knock them off one at a time, and the number 45 Chevrolet did exactly that tonight. Of course, when you start up in P3, it's not hard, especially when you finish P3. You don't have to knock many off. Yes, sir, for sure. Thank you. Number one, obviously, Jim and Becky, thoughts and prayers going your way. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, Ohio and Indiana Roofing. And I'd like to give a shout out to Mitchell's sponsors too. My son, man, we had a great night tonight. He finished seventh. I finished third. So Visualize Media, let them tell your story. Let's Party and AAA Entertainment for all your bouncy house needs. And if you're into any custom diecast, iRacing or otherwise, look up Diecast by Bobby on Facebook. Thank you.
All right, Brian, my man. Well, once again, it was a great night for you and the entire 45 crew, and we'll look to see if we can't catch up with you a little bit further on throughout the season.
For sure. Thank you. Have a good night.
And there you go, final words from the 45 of Brian Snare, as he's happy with a solid finish here tonight. And, well, we're happy now that you can all still hear me talk, and had a little bit of a connection issue there. And unfortunately, audio cut out there for a minute, but you could still hear all the responses from that 45 of Brian Snare. So, you know how it goes. Sometimes things just don't quite work out with Dave in the cave. Nonetheless, that's going to bring us to our next driver finishing in the podium spots here tonight. Let's see if we can't grab a quick word with the driver walking away with second here tonight. That 94 Lucky Finn Project Ford Mustang piloted by Troy Radford. Troy, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dave, I do. How are you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing good now that you and everybody else can hear me.
Woohoo!
I'm not sure everybody likes to hear me, though.
Well, I mean, that interview I heard was a little one-sided, so, you know.
Indeed, my man. After another solid run for you and some of the other Falcon Motorsports drivers, how are you feeling after a good, solid second place here tonight?
You know, that is probably the worst track out of the schedule for me. I absolutely hate Kansas, so for me to come away with a P2, I'm thrilled. I might as well have won the race, so, you know, I'm good. I'm good there.
Well, Troy, you started in second, you finished in second, you ran kind of all over the top five here, never quite grabbed that top spot. Was there just something missing tonight underneath the hood of that Ford?
Yeah, there definitely was. So early, it was like lap 17, something like that. I think Jeff was up in the lead, and he was taking a low line off the corner, and I thought he was giving me the high lane because I had a pretty good run on him. And right then he either was coming up or slipped or what. And once you're committed to a line, you can't lift because the front end's going to load up and you're going to end up just killing the wall. So I ended up smacking the wall, having about 17 seconds worth of damage, and I was about a half a car slow in the straightaways to Dale because of that. So anytime I was around Dale, I'd get a run on him in the corner, get a run off, and then kind of that tail end of the straightaway, you just see him pull.
Well, Troy, I want to get your thoughts moving forward on the season. I know it's still very early, just race number 5 in the books, but we move to Phoenix next week, a makeup race from where we had to move some things around earlier in the season. COVID things, outbreak, stuff like that, rescheduling in need. So we've got that done, and that's coming up. But right after that, we head to Bristol, and then I believe it is Watkins Glen, the first road course of the season. What's your thoughts on those next 3 races?
This is definitely going to be tough. So Phoenix can be a great race, but it can also be kind of clustery with cautions. And so can Kansas. And Kansas went green tonight. It was just a beautiful race all the way around. So, I have faith in our guys. We've got an absolutely phenomenal group here, but it definitely makes it a little bit of a challenge, being that we do have that what should have been an off week, and now we're in this stretch of like 7 or 8 races in a row. It's just one after the other. So we definitely like looking at the schedule here. As far as it lines up for me, Phoenix, I'll be okay at. Bristol, I'm always fast, and I have absolutely horrible luck at. So I don't know what to think there. And then Watkins Glen, at least for me, I always have some speed. I don't expect, I expect to be maybe 5th or so. It'll be, kind of Dale Osmond, Steve Baker, Jeff Vandervoort, stupid fast guys. And honestly, Mitchell Snare has been one that's been as fast as those guys on road courses recently. So, it's definitely one of my better road courses, but I still, if I can get top 5, I'll be happy there.
Absolutely. Well, Troy, it was another fine night for you and the entire 94 crew. So before we let you go, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else associated with that 94?
Yeah, of course. First of all, big thanks go out to the Lucky Finn Project, as well as the Evidence-Based Mommy, Falcon Motorsports, and just everybody help make this happen. I mean, it's definitely a like I said earlier, one of my worst tracks. So I put in a lot of laps here, getting comfortable on running up against the wall, and then working a few moves for somebody's going to get in the wall, so you kind of working on some moves to get off the wall for when that happens, so you don't get collected.
All right, Joy. Well, again, congratulations, my man, and we'll look forward to catching up with you a little bit later on through the year.
Yep, thank you much, and congrats to Dale on a heck of a race.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away in that second spot. Troy Radford started right there in second, and well, not a very eventful race for Radford, but he's able to slot that 94 Lucky Finn Project Ford Mustang into the second spot. And well, why don't we mix things up a little bit here? Why don't we throw you guys off? Why don't we see if we can't catch in a word or two with your Mission 22 hard charger here tonight? Chris Medford, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, my man? Heck of a run for you and the crew.
It could have been better. The car was a lot faster than what it showed. There was an incident going on before the race even happened, and it really set me back a lot. And then I worked my way through the field, then got caught up on some people blocking, and then kind of done a little damage to me. Then I went down pit road and totally missed my stall. So it knocked off about 10 seconds, and then I just got my optional fix there for 6. So I lost about 16 seconds right there on pit road, but the car was fast. I was catching people, passing people. Just you kind of had to force your way to where you want to go.
Well, Chris, we're not going to keep you too much longer. Still got to get to your teammate down there in the victory lane celebrations, but heck of a job by you in the entire 84 team. You slotted home in 16th, but up 26 positions. That makes you the Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner. So before we let you go here tonight, Chris, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love you, thank anybody on that 84?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Racer Riley, my primary sponsor. It's a John and Jody Foundation he helped found. Zoe's Place is a safe place for children to go through. It's pretty close to my heart. Congrats to KD and the Black Hawk guys on the win and Brian and his finish. Congrats to my teammate Troy on Falcon Motorsports on his finish. We was fast, but I don't know if I had anything for Katie or not. Just starting at 42nd with no cautions, it really bites. But I know once we got going, me and him was pretty even on time, so it would have been fun to see what I could do with him.
Absolutely, my man. Well, we appreciate the show you put out there tonight, moving up through the field all night long, and we look forward to catching up with you a little bit later through on the year.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Dave.
There you have it, words from your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner, and there you can see him, the man on the screen. We're going to move now to your race winner down there in the Century Equipment Victory Lane. Let's see if we can't catch in a word or two with Katie Osmond. Looks like having a little bit of trouble. Let's see if we can't dial him up now. Katie Osmond, is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you, man.
Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling? Another race win, huh?
Oh, feeling pretty good after that one.
Well, who wouldn't?
Oh, yeah. Second one on the season, it's awesome. I mean, there's no better feeling than that.
Well, Katie, walk us through a little bit of the race here tonight. You didn't start in the pole position. You started back there in the 5th spot. You slowly made your way to that top spot. Walk us through coming to pit road for that final green flag pit stop and how you were able to gain that gap.
Yeah, that last stop, I knew it just needed to be solid because I had a little bit of gap on Troy there. But I think exiting the pits, he might have gotten caught up in some lap traffic, which gave me that 3 or 4 second lead. And I think I pitted a lap or two earlier than him, so that just gave me a little bit fresher tires. And I mean, once I saw that gap and I thought it was going to go green, I could just manage that distance between me and him, and I had a solid run there to the end.
Well, Katie, as we mentioned already, 2 race wins, or this makes your 2nd race win on the season. We've got some pretty different tracks coming up. We head to Phoenix next week, then to the world's greatest Coliseum, the fastest half mile on earth, Bristol Motor Speedway, the blender race, if you will. And then we head off for our first road course over there at Watkins Glen. Out of those 3 races, do you have any one of them circled as a possible win or a struggle track?
Honestly, I've got Phoenix and Bristol circled as maybe wins. Watkins Glen, that's going to be a Steve and Vandervoort thing there. I'll be lucky to come home with a 3rd there, I think.
Well, Katie, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you, and always a pleasure to catch up with you here in the Century Equipment Victory Lane post race award show. Before we let you go, though, and enjoy your 2nd win on the season, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else with that 88 team?
Absolutely. First of all, I've still got this memorial paint on my car. Every good finish, everyone I can get is going to be, for my grandma. I'd like to thank everybody in this league. I mean, we had a flag-to-flag race there. It was really cool. Everyone on my team, Blackhawk Motorsports, Brian and Mitchell had a really good run there. Sponsor, Ohio and Indiana Roofing Company. Thank the admins, and thank you for broadcasting.
All right, Katie. Well, if that's it, my man, we'll go ahead and let you enjoy some of the champagne showers that are going on in the background here in the Century Equipment Victory Lane post-show award. And, well, man, we'll catch up with you a little later through the season. What do you say?
Man, that sounds awesome.
All right, there you have it. Final words from your race winner. He's going to give us a little bit of a smoke show before he heads off to the actual Victory Lane celebration down there and gets himself a little bit of champagne to spray. And well, that's about it. That's about all she wrote for us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Kansas Speedway in the Yellow Brick Road 100, brought to you by Conrad Group Insurance Agency. Do want to mention this little bit of knowledge on the evening as well. Jeffrey Vandervoort walking away with the Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award here tonight. So do want to give a big shout out to Jeffrey Vandervoort taking that pole award here tonight with a 30.84 for the quick time in qualifying for tonight's Yellow Brick Road 100. So with that being said, man, oh man, Yet another fine one in the books for us and for you and for all the drivers out there on track. They were able to keep it clean and green from flag to flag here tonight. All 150 laps go in the book under green flag conditions, so that's a heck of a job all in and of itself, and it does sound like producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know what that means. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results, walking away with the top spot in the Yellow Brick Road 100 right here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, the 88 of Katie Osmond. Troy Radford in the 94 machine gonna slide home in the second position. Brian Snare walks away from the track in the third and final podium position. The Fast 55 of Steve Baker gonna finish in fourth, and Christopher Spencer with a solid run here tonight rounds out your top five. John Wimbish pilots his 56 Cheerwine Toyota Supra into the sixth spot, while Mitchell Snare finishes in seventh. Your pole sitter, the 72 of Jeffrey Vandervoort, walking away from the track in the eighth spot, while Hunter Tate in the eighth finishes back in ninth. The 82 of Tyler Hilton will round out your top 10, and Travis Smith in the 9 machine finishes back in 11th, followed by his teammate from Dirty Air Racing, Brian Littleton in the 80 machine, slots home in 12th. Dustin German gonna pilot his 99 to a 13th finishing spot. Chris Berg gonna finish in 14th, and rounding out your top 15, the 5 of Joshua Spalding. Chris Medford gonna walk away from the track in 16th as your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner. Back in 17th is Roy Hyde Lance Yancey walking away from the track in the 18th spot. A much better run this week for that 77 of Lance than what he had last week, so a good recovery, a good day in points for that 77 crew. Derek Robinson in the 38 gonna finish back in the 19th spot, while Doug Wasaki rounds out your top 20. 21st goes to Justin Walters, while the 6 of Eric Blount has some struggles here tonight and finishes back in 22nd. Brandon Medford also dropping through the field. He'll fall back to the 23rd spot. 24th goes to Todd Willis, while the 4 of Mike Masengill finishes in 25th. 26th spot here tonight goes to that 98 of Thomas Light, while Jeff Stiles finishes in 27th. The 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. with some trouble contact with the outside wall, and that's going to put that 33 Dirty Mo Media Machine back there in the 28th finishing spot. Tim Woodson going to walk away in 29th, while Nathan Bishop rounds out your top 30. 31st goes to Jimmy Hetrick. Damian Patton in the 51 going to finish 2 laps down back in the 32nd position. The 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. pilots his machine home to the 33rd spot, while Blackhawk Motorsports driver Dustin Ping finishes in the 34th. Matthew McMeekin gonna walk away from the track here tonight in 35th. Ryan Wilson back in 36th. 47 of Ray Radford gonna finish in 37th spot, while 38th goes to Travis Arthur. The Iron Man gonna finish back in 39th, while Melvin Young walks away from the track here tonight back in the 40th spot. Jason Gardner gets the 41st spot, while Cody Terry and Craig Lerman both have some trouble, both off of the track and out of the race tonight. Gonna finish in 42nd and 43rd. Well, that's it. There you have it. That is your unofficial race results for tonight's Yellow Brick Road 100 right here from Kansas Speedway in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. And well, with that being said, not much left to do here in the broadcast booth except begin to roll up the cords and head over to Phoenix for next week's installment right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. And well, with all that being said, race fans, stay safe, stay loved. Until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.